Hello, dear people. Okay, so yeah, today, as you can see, I'm a little bit tired. My makeup is not so good. Mm, I woke up like so. I woke up. Anyways, mm, I have like a big channeled message. It is like a vision, like a premonition. Let's just say it like that. Uh, I have so many details, so many informations. I need to tell you people, because the upstairs, they're giving me so much information and I need to say them all. Okay, so um, when I said that last year I had a dream, 16, the date, 16 something something the month, 2032 the year, uh, written in stone. When I had that dream, and usually, again, when you're dreaming, that is the 5D. That is actually the awaken part. When you have your spiritual awakening, that is when you're awakened, the 5D. When you go to sleep, and you can go in the 5D even when you're in the 3D when you're awake. That's how you can channel and have visions and read people's minds telepathically and stuff like that. So, last year I had that dream. 16, the day, something something, the month, 2032. And I called like my sister-in-law and I told her, hey, I had this dream. And again, usually when you dream, you can't read, your mind can't go so far. You can't run, you can't scream, and stuff like that. So that's when I remembered the date, 16 something something 2032. And I called my sister-in-law and I told her, remember this date, I had a dream, like if I die, you tell everyone I knew. And she was like, no, don't say that. And I was like, no, you remember. And she was like, okay. So when I had the spiritual awakening, like in the New Year's, um, and I started to talk with the angels, and they gave me visions and tasks and warnings, and I started to be able to read telepathically people's minds and see in the 5D and stuff to do, tasks, and to help more and more, like I have done it in my life, but now more and more. I asked them, 16, the day, something, something, the month, 2032. Is that the day I die? And they're like, no. And then I was like, okay, something will happen then. And they're like, yeah. And I didn't want to ask them what, but I felt that deep down inside me. The fact that nothing good will happen in that date, but it depends on us, the people, the humanity, and if we choose to do more good, to spread more light, to help others, to be more kind, or bad, you know. That is the date about. So, last night, uh, I had such a powerful dream, a lucid dream. It was a vision in the 5D. And I woke up, and even now I am like so dizzy because sometimes I get stuck in the 3D, which is this reality right now talking, and the 5D, the fifth dimension, which is way much more complicated with the spirits and the angels and channeling everyone, all the people and stuff like that. So I had the dream, and I'm trying to give you like all the specific details. So there were uh, a few people, gathering in a place, and they were like agitated, So I went there and I pushed them, and I went up front, you know, and they were like normal people like me, normal-ish, anyways. And then there were like a few people like me, but they had a glowing color of blue. They were glowing a little bluish. So then I looked up in the sky above those people, and I saw three circles in the sky made out of clouds, three circles, but there were like the oval form, like the eyes, three circles of clouds in the sky. And I was looking at the bluish people, people like me, but they were glowing a bluish color. Then I looked in the right, and I saw a few people in a circle that were beamed up to the circles, the oval circles in the sky. It was a bright light. I saw the expressions on their faces while they were beamed up, They were like scared, you know, with their hands like this, they weren't moving, and they beamed them up in the sky. So I looked at the bluish people, and I was talking with them telepathically. Like I didn't open my mouth, I was looking at them. I went straight to them, and I asked them, so they were the aliens. Okay, so I asked them, hey, are you going to take us up so you would eat us? Because like you see at the TV, the aliens, that are starting to come on our planet, and that they eat flesh and stuff like that. So I asked them, in my mind, telepathically, I was talking with them, are you going to beam us up and eat us? Like harm us? And they're like, no. They were looking at me, smiled, and then responded telepathically, no. And I'm like, are you going to beam us up to protect us? And they're like, yeah, in the mind, responding, And I'm like, are you taking us up to protect us because the world is going to end? And I didn't say 2032. I was very awakened in that dream. Like I was very awakened. I went there with specific questions, and I wanted to know, and I had the conversation. So I was very awakened when I asked, like, are you going to harm us up there? Eat us or make experiments, and stuff like that. So when I asked, are you going to beam us up so you will protect us? They were like, yeah. Are you going to beam us up because the world is going to end And then I said 3 years. 3. Because I asked with my mind, telepathically, I asked them. They telepathically responded in my mind. So we were connected, talking in the minds. So in my mind, they gave me the question with the number 3 years. When I asked them, I wanted to ask, like, are you going to take us up so you will protect us because the world is ending in 2032? But when I wanted to say 2032, I said 3 years. So the 3 years came from them. They gave me that amount of time to ask. And they're like, yeah. So they responded. I asked them, are you going to take us up so you would protect us because the world is ending in 3 years? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, how? Show me. And they gave me a picture in my mind with the flood. It was water all over the planet. So much water. So, now, okay. I woke up and I wanted, I like woke up and I was like, it's like I don't panic and stuff like that. But I had to say this message. Now, people, I have so many informations I have to say. So, you know the movie? Okay, wait. So, let's just say, maybe I'm crazy. And I would like to think that I'm crazy. You know, the crazy old lady with the cats and stuff like that. But let's just take it as this. Because usually when I started to read people's minds and see telepathically and have visions in the 5D and see people doing what they were actually doing in my mind, I took it 50-50. Let's say it's true. Let's say maybe I'm crazy. But let's say it's true. And I was right. It was true. So, it changed. The date changed. It's not 2032, 16 something something. I was right. It is based on the humanity. And you should be more good. Spread more kindness. Stop being so hateful. Now, the Avengers, you know, Thanos, you know, it was the meme. I remember it even now. The meme with Thanos that everybody found him to be bad because he wanted to kill half of the population of every planet so the planet wouldn't die because there were so many people. And everybody saw Thanos at, as the bad guy. And the meme was funny because in the background, you know, like a little bit transparent, it was the face of God with the flood, you know, when he flooded the first time. It was like, you know, like they see Thanos bad because he wanted to save the planet so the planet wouldn't be destructed. He wanted to kill half of the humankind. So in the background it was God like with that face, you know, like, but I flooded, you know. So the flood, it goes back. Okay, so what else? Moses. I'm trying to give you all the information I have, so so you would believe me more. Cause even now, even with the paintings, with the wings, with the eyes, and so, people still don't believe me, and they are still harmful and hateful, and they release bad energy, dark energy to the universe, negative energy. And I told you people about the Schumann resonance, with the earth, and you change the frequency of the earth with all the hate and all the frequency of bad, negative. And when you change the earth frequency, you change its vibration, and that is how you impact the moon, and that is how you impact the waves. And like I don't know, like a month ago I had the dream with big giant waves, big giant waves. And then I woke up and I was like, what the fuck? So then when I looked at the TV, that day was the tsunami in Hawaii, like a few weeks ago, you know so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the Schumann resonance is actually proven. I'm not crazy, I'm coming with facts. You need to take more care of your thoughts, your vibration. You need to spread only positive vibes, light, kindness. Give more light, people. So the Moses thing, with the Red Sea, they found in the Red Sea, deep down low, where they said that Moses uh, spread apart the Red Sea so the people would uh, pass the Red Sea, so they would escape, so they wouldn't be killed. When God told him, lift your hands and you will open the sea so you can save the people. And then he did that, and he did save the people. And then he passed the Red Sea, and then God said again, okay, close your hands. Because in the back, all the bad people were following them to kill them in the... Yeah, I don't have the word in English. And I see it. You know? Mm, ah, with the horses. Oh, oh, I don't have the word. Ah, the metal things. You go on. Oh, with the wheels, and then it's metal, and you go, and with the horses, and you giddy up. I don't know the saying. They were following on the fucking metal things. Anyways, so then God said again when he passed, the Red Sea, Moses and his people. God said again, lift your arms up and you will close the Red Sea. And then he did that, and he closed the Red Sea, and then he trapped all the bad people with the metal thingies, in the Red Sea, and they all died. And now, after so many years, they found in the Red Sea, exactly in that location, the wheels uh, made out of metal, deep down low, the wheels of the thingies, the giddy up. I don't have the word. So again, that was proven. So you can see that I'm not lying. What else? The fact that 2012, the movie. I'm trying to give you like comparisons. So comparison to something. Something similar. My English sucks. Something similar, so you would get me. In the movie 2012, with the end of the world, with the waves and stuff like that, with the big ships, they made them so they could escape the flood. Uh, that's not going to work. Like, if this actually happens in 3 years, that's not going to work. So don't think of it like that. The elite of people that can have people that predicts the future, with the riches and shit like that. That's not going to work. Like if this actually happens with the flood, those ships wouldn't be bigger and stronger to handle the waves, and stuff like that. Now, okay, this movie. Okay, the other one. It was another movie with Nicolas Cage. I don't remember the name of it, but it was long time ago. So it was Nicolas Cage with his child, and another woman as well with his child and her child. And then it was like an old lady, and they thought she was crazy because she had like so many predictions with the stones and stuff like that. So then they went to a field, and there were the aliens that did actually came to Earth to save the chosen ones, so they would beam them up because the end of the world was coming, and all the Earth, the planet would crack, I don't remember the movie, burning and stuff like that. Okay, so again, that's what I'm trying to say, because like with the movies, you should remember when I say they always came from an inspiration, and the inspiration is from upstairs. You when you have predictions, visions, premonitions and stuff like that, you have tasks, you need to say them. That's how when you see the movies and you think like, oh, it is science fiction, it is not real and stuff like that. No, they have a purpose, so you need to pay attention to them. And when you see stuff, you need to realize it's nothing random. They give you from upstairs the stuff you need to see or you need to hear, because those are signs. And you need to be you need to pay attention to the signs more. They're not random. Okay, so when the earthquakes started to happen in Romania, firstly it started to happen in Turkey, and I felt the earthquake, even though I shouldn't have, even though Turkey is like close to Romania, it wasn't felt in Romania, but I did felt it, when the earthquakes started to happen in Romania, I got a warning from upstairs, remain calm. Spread the word to the people to remain calm. Again, the impact, what you feel, the negativity, the hate, the, you send it to the universe. And that is how you fuck up it more. So, I told the people, and I was posting and I was telling people, and for me myself, again, you need to remain calm. You need to remain calm. So then the earthquakes in Romania stopped. It was like a big one and then smaller, but a few. When I was online, I was feeling the earthquakes. The people were telling me, the upstairs angels, they were telling me, calm down with the earthquakes. Because if you don't calm down and you don't spread the word to people to calm down, it will be more and more earthquakes. And I was like, okay. I closed the computer and I opened the TV. It was on Comedy Central. It wasn't on the news. So you would be like, anyways. It was on Comedy Central. It was like an old comedy TV show or something, I don't remember. And in that TV show, it was the earthquakes again. So, okay, what else? With the movies, okay? I'm trying to give you as many specific details as possible. With the pandemic, uh, so many people were hateful. So many people were hurting others to go in line to fight over a piece of bread or shit. They made all the people hate each other. All the people. They impacted all the planet. When the pandemic started, and it was like the first case like in China. Bhutan, something. And everybody was laughing at China. Ha ha ha, the Chinese. And I will get to that as well after. We are all the same. All. We are all connected. Doesn't matter the race or the places or the ethnicity or the sexual or anything. So when it first started in China, everybody was laughing. Oh, they deserve it because they eat the vampire turns to the bat. They eat bats and stuff like that. And I was telling the people in Romania back then, stop laughing. Now it's one case in China. But if it started to be like 2 3 cases in China, and I was like, okay, but if one case appears in Italy, Romania is fucked up. And I was right. Back then I remember I saved like a big amount of money so I could pay like an advance to buy my own house. And then I was like, no, I wanted to help like my close people because I felt it will come to Romania as well and everything will be shut down. And I was right. They did shut down everything. So the people were like so hateful back then, with the pandemic, and they released a lot of negativity, a lot of hate and anger, and everybody was desperate and stuff like that. So again, the upstairs is angry. The upstairs is angry at so many. God and the angels as well. They're angry because everything is turning to shit, and people don't give good vibrations and kindness, and they don't give thanks to the ancestors. Like everybody is, they're turning like animals, they're turning them into genetically modified, like the small puppies, they turn them so small and so small in the lab so they would look like more cute and stuff like that. And when they like they alter them, and when they are giving birth and over, they can't breathe. They have dysfunctions in their. You shouldn't play with God's nature of things. Or again, God is hateful on the priests as well. So many priests are uh, fake. They take his name in vain and they uses that for riches. We here in Romania, and I think like others as well, but here in Romania they build like a big, big church. So big! And it went so expensive. So expensive. And that money could actually could have went to like the street people or to the animals, to the shelter, to the schools. So many schools are so fucked up, without like a toilet inside. They have the toilets like outside, like in the yard and stuff like that. So again, the upstairs is so angry. So angry. Nobody's giving thanks to the ancestors. You need to give thanks to the ancestors. And again, the ancestors and God and the angels and stuff like that. The ancestors and the nature as well. You should protect it more. So, the ancestors, I wanted to say that stop laughing at China and Africa and shit like that. When this world started, with Adam and Eve, it went like, and it was like more than that, way much before. They found the bones of the dinosaurs, they found the bones of giants. You have no idea your soul. When I said be more kind, even with the person on the street that is like a stranger, with the animals, the planet, like take care of the trees, the green, with my plant and stuff like that, like show your appreciation, to the planet and to the gods and stuff like that. Your soul gets reincarnated in anything and anyone. anything and anyone, like in animals, in plants, in trees, in other people. Like you could have been reincarnated in China. When I said show appreciations, light a white candle to your ancestors, it wasn't just for your grandparents like this lifetime. Your ancestors come from your reincarnated places. When I said do more good, break karmic circles, because those are the curses that you give down to your next generation and generation of humanity. Not only your children, because maybe you won't have children, and you get reincarnated in other lives. You curse those as well. Because perhaps in another lifetime you were like Italian, like I was, or Egyptian, or you were a woman, or you were a man, you were transgender, you were gay, you were a cat, you were a tree. Like, you know what I mean? And I know for you it's hard, but imagine if this lifetime, let's just say, you are a racist and you hate the blacks. Why do you think that is? And I'm asking you this question, like so simple. Why do you think that is you hate them so much? Because in another lifetime you were actually black and you had so much hate towards you. And even then, you shouldn't feel the hate back. You shouldn't feel the hate back. Even if you are black, even if you are gay, even if you shouldn't. That is the karmic circles. That is your curse. That is why this lifetime I don't have like anything towards anyone. And I care for everything. All the people, all the races, all the gay and the transgender, and the animals and the plants and everything. And you should give more thanks to your ancestors. Again, not only your parents, grandparents, great grandparents. Your soul got reincarnated in so many different lifetimes, different species, different. When you see a stranger on the street, like, you should take care of that person, help as much as possible. We are all one. In a different lifetime, perhaps that stranger was your father. The soul connection is way much more deeper than relatives. That's what I'm trying to say in the 5D, the fifth dimension. We are all connected in so many deeper levels than you have no idea. That's what I'm trying to say, like, help others as much as possible. You were meant to help them. You don't know if in a different lifetime that was you. You don't know that. Okay, so, like the proposal, with Ryan Reynolds and with Sandra Bullock. And it was like the old lady in the forest, Betty White or something. And she was like telling Sandra Bullock, you should give thanks to your ancestors, to the planets, to the land, And then Sandra Bullock was to the window, to the window, to the wall, to the wall, to the sweat red down my balls. All you bitches scroll, all you, yeah, exactly. You need to give thanks to your ancestors and to the planet and to God and stuff like that. Like, you have no idea. I try my best, like, even if when I'm here, and I don't throw away food. Never throw away food, because that is like a big sin. Other people in Africa, they don't have it at all. At all. And again, we are all connected. If you have hate towards someone, you have hate towards yourself. So, I try my best, like with the plant, with the aloe vera as well. It is healing, firstly. It's like you don't even need to use it, it's healing. You give thanks to that plant. It is green. It is from the earth. And I struggle so hard with it, and whenever I change the ground of it, like, I talk with it. And I was like, come on, baby, come on, you can do it, come on. Because I didn't want to break the roots of the plant while I was changing the land of it. and I was talking with it, and I showed it love. You have no idea, like if you get reincarnated and you go like in a tree or in a plant. That's why I don't like flowers. I never liked to get bought flowers, like the cat thing is, I see them die. I don't like that shit. Why? Like don't cut them, let them grow to the fullest and stuff like that. So I try my best, to take care of a small plant, a small green, a part of the nature, the planet, you know. You need to take care of the trees and the plants, and it brings oxygen, and that way you are giving thanks to the planet, to God, you know. It gives you air, it gives you so many, they cut the trees and they build more and more and more. If you live like at a house, like, because that's why I always wanted, like my own house, like with a little bit of green. I like to plant thingies, I like to take care, it's good to put your feet on the ground, like barefoot. You can get all the energy from the ground, and stuff like that. So if you live like in like at the side country, and you have land, take care of it, and show your appreciation. And you need to use your hands more, don't cut the trees, plant more things, give your appreciation. Now, like my grandparents were, like, they, they had they tried to break as many karmic circles, the curses, as much as they could. So they had so many animals, and they use them like their life, like if they would have like chickens, they save the chickens for the eggs, so they would eat healthy. And then if the chicken, let's say, it looked like it got old and it had like a few more days to live, that's when they cut them and they eat them. Even though they say the flesh is hard to chew, because it is like old, that is the purpose, like don't cut a chicken when it's young and stuff like that, because the flesh is younger. And no, you should let that purpose reach his end, its end, like, or when you go and you buy like uh, chicken breast, at the store, that was the purpose it was made, to buy it. It's not like don't buy this, don't do that. No, that was like the purpose. But if you have them in your yard, let them, like you have a cow, use it for milk, you know like. And if you see like the cow is getting old and old and old and old, like before it dies, yeah, you can bring justice, so that cow can live its fullest, you know what I mean. And then you can cut it and you can eat it, and you can give thanks to your ancestors and to the fact that that cow did like sign the contract to the fullest, you know what I mean. If you see an animal on the street, you should take care of it, like uh, give food and stuff like that, and water and stuff like that. And okay, what else? Okay, so let's just say the thing with the 3 years, like maybe I'm crazy. Okay, let's just say maybe I'm crazy. So if I'm not crazy, like let's just say like this, change your frequency, your vibration, your thoughts, be more kind, spread more light. Again, the upstairs are not happy. Even my close people, they do believe me and stuff like that, but they don't change their mind. They're still hateful and negative and stuff like that. That is what you throw the universe, negativity and hate and stuff like that. You're still not grateful for what you have. You still don't show your appreciation to the upstairs, the God, the angels, the nature, the planet, everything. You don't. You don't teach your children kindness. You don't teach them to be more good, more kind, to help others. No. You're still doing the same thing. The riches, the money, the building, the buying, a lot of stuff. Okay. So, until 3 years, okay, let's just say it like this, like, perhaps everybody will change. And that is why I'm here. Spread more light, be more good. It's not like 2032. It changed to 3 years. So, in 3 years, try to be more good. Try to help others more. Feel deep down that you are more kind. You give more thanks to the upstairs, to the angels. I told you, light a white candle. You know the round thingies with the white ceramic something. White, light the white candle. I told you the spirits, your ancestors, like the white light. So, a few days ago, I saw some stupid fucking people. They were in the graveyard with the crosses, with the graves. They were drinking. I didn't watch it so much because I got angry. And if the universe or the spirits will harm them, I didn't want to harm them with my own powers because they got me so angry because they're fucking stupid. They were in the graveyard with beer, sitting on the graves and the stones, lighting red light something. It was like a red candle. Laughing, drinking beer, and they were summoning the spirits, the dead people. They were like, okay, I wanna see you if you're actually here. Raise up from the dead because I wanna see you. And they were laughing. I felt like I'm feeling it right now. I feel like I wanna throw up. I feel like I wanna throw up when I see disgrace to the dead, like stupidity. Like, don't you have your own dead loved ones? And not only your own, because we are so connected on a deeper level in the 5D, in the afterlife. So I changed it. I stopped looking because I got so angry. So angry. The upstairs sea. I never summoned them again. When I tell you the saying, rest in peace, whenever whenever someone died and they're like, God forgive them, I always say, God rest their soul in peace. You know what I mean? That's when they go, that is what you should wish them, to rest in peace, you know. So they go up. Don't go down, don't come back again. Reincarnated, you know. Rest in peace, go up. So I will get to that as well. I'm trying to, but I'm losing you anyways. So let's just say the thing with the 3 years. Okay, so how about you change your behavior, your kindness, you know, spread more light, help others, give thanks to your ancestors and to this earth, and to the trees and to the nature and stuff like that. Until 3 years, you know, and even so, like, until 3 years, let's just change your vibration. Be more nice, be more kind. Okay, so let's just say 3 years passes and it's not going to start raining a lot. That means we dodged a bullet. You know what I mean. So if the beaming starts and you see the bluish people and they're choosing you to beam you up, go up. It means you are chosen to be protected, to go up because shit is going down here. If you are chosen, it means that you give the positive energy towards out. That's why they picked you. You release only positive energy, only light, only love, only kindness. That's why they're protecting you to go up with them until shit goes down here. And when the shit is calm down, they bring you down. So, change your thoughts, your vibration, release all the negative and shit like that, and be more kind. Help others. Give thanks to your ancestors and to the land and to the green and to the spirits and stuff like that. Be more kind. So if the 3 years pass, you see the bluish go up. You should be thankful. Now, if 3 years pass, and let's just say nothing happens, we dodge the bullet. People are starting to be more kind, more good, giving more good energy to the universe and to the spirits and to God. And God sees, and then He can change His mind. And the angels as well. So no more flooding. Now, so one, you see the bluish people, they want to beam you, go up. That is one choice in the next 3 years. Okay. Second choice, we have the options. Let's just say nothing happens. No flooding, no beaming, no stuff like that. We dodge the bullet. And the world will not be ending in 3 years. Because people started to be more kind and humble and giving thanks to the ancestors and to the land and to each other. And God gave humanity a second choice, like all the humanity. So no more flooding. Okay. And if you go to number 3, which is like the darkest of them all, because we're taking all the options. I'm trying to give you as many options and advices, and I try to help you as much as possible. So if number 3 happens, you don't see the bluish people, or nothing happens, the rain won't start and everything is okay, while the 3 years passes, and you continue to be good because you got like a second chance. Okay. If these two aren't, the options, and it's like number 3, the bluish didn't take you, and then you see it starts to rain a lot. Remember my words. Don't panic. Don't be hateful. Pray. Remain positive. And if you see the waves happening, pray, be more kind, peaceful. That is exactly what I would do, because if the bluish people would take me, I would go up. If I would remain here, and there is like a possibility to remain here, and I would gladly do it, it's not I kind of feel it, like I need to help more, and I would do it like to the last day and stuff like that. So from my perspective, okay, so if you see it starts to rain in like 3 years passes, and then it starts to rain a lot, don't be hateful, like I'm going to die, don't. You should be at peace, spread the light, pray, wait for it to end, like pray, and hopefully you go up to heaven, or you can get reincarnated in a tree when everything ends, on the planet. You can get reincarnated in the next generation. If you still have soul contracts, even if, let's say, the waves come and you die, and you didn't fulfill your soul contracts, you can get reincarnated in the child's 300 years from now. Born. Born on this planet. You know what I'm trying to say? Or you can get reincarnated into an eagle. You know what I'm trying to say? So, when that day comes, and let's just say it's like the third option, you need to remain calm and positive and kind. But until then, be more kind. Let's change. Because when I said I can see the future, my future and people's as well, but it depends on their choices. Like, you choose to do more good. I see your future beautiful, full of light. But if you choose to do more bad, your future is dark. So dark. So, that is like one thing I had to say, with the 3 years. No, okay. What else? Okay, so with the spirits, as I said again, you should honor your ancestors and ancestors. Again, you have no idea, perhaps in a different lifetime, you were black, you were from Africa, you were from China, you were a dog, you were a bird, you were a tree, you were a river, you were a volcano, you were the wind. Like, you know what I mean? You need to give thanks more, to spread more kindness, to help others more. Don't be so selfish. Don't be so selfish. Okay, what else? With the spirits, when I said, let the spirits rest in peace and light a light candle because they appreciate it. Your spirits, your ancestors, it goes way down low. So many different roots with the tree, the different roots, so far, so down low, you have no idea. So you need to give more thanks to them, with, like I gave you the example with the big church, so many million euros, they spend. Oh, we care so much for God. With all that money, you could have done something to show your appreciation to God. More real, more truthful. Like, if you would help, like, all the animals, all the homeless, all the, you would show more your appreciation. You would actually mean it. You would make it reality, you know. But because they, like, built like a big cathedral and stuff like that, you spent that money for shit. You didn't show shit. The fact that I made, like, the small altar, for the gods and the angels, I showed more appreciation in that small thing, and I burned my hands while making that, and I put, like, so much effort. I showed more appreciation in the small thing that they did, like, in the big cathedral. So, when I said show your appreciations to your ancestors, to your spirits, the fact that I can actually speak with the spirits, but I never do. I never summon them. It's a saying, rest in peace. You should let them rest in peace. Since I said I can talk with the spirits, like, I had so many people saying, like, I have dead people, like, can you talk with them? And I'm like, no, you should let them rest in peace. That's why they're there. Like, if they come to me and tell me an information or stuff like that, that's when I do talk with them and I do channel them. But until then, I let them rest in peace. The only spirits like I talked to and channeled was like, firstly, it was like the dad of my ex, his father. He was such a kind soul, and he felt my soul and I felt his. The fact that I knew him for just 1 year, it changed my life and the perspective I had towards life, because he lived his life and he helped others as much as possible with so much kindness, even if he was going through so dark times. Um, I remember when he, and that's why I said, give thanks to your spirits and your ancestors, because it goes way much more deep. Whenever I light a candle and I say for my spirits and my ancestors, I think of him as well. It doesn't matter if it's your relative or not. The spirits and the soul ties, the bounds of the spirits and the souls are way much more deeper than that. So, when he was alive, and I knew him for just 1 year, and I tried my best to help him live more, because he helped me so many times. Like whenever I was arguing with my ex, he used to call me and he was like, "My darling, tell me, do you want me to grab him by his ears, and pull, because he's not behaving towards you?" And I was like, "No, but thank you so much. You are so kind. And he felt me, and he knew me just for 1 year. And he did so much for me. Like, he had a thing about the tattoos. He didn't like them. Well, not this one. He saw these, you know, because I didn't have this one when he was alive. So he didn't like the tattoos. And we would have like discussions, like arguments. He would be like, the tattoos they're made, they started, like from prison. Because he had like this old thought, about painting on your body. And I was like, no, they started from Egypt, and that's where they started, the ancient, and they were sacred and stuff like that. So he had like such a bad behavior towards, painting your body. But when I wanted to buy myself like the anesthetic cream, so I would make myself a tattoo, I told him, like I want to buy the anesthetic cream, and I can't buy it from the pharmacy because you need a prescription, and I want to make a tattoo. And he was like, okay, no worries. He called a friend of his, a doctor, and he was like, please give me a prescription so I can, so she can buy this, for her and for tattoo. Like seriously now, like the kindness of the soul, even though he had like a bad idea towards painting your body, he did it for me. Or again, what else? With this bed, I was standing in a different place. Anyways, they had like a sofa, and my back was hurting me so bad. And I was like, I want to buy a bed. And he was like, okay, no worries, I come with you. So he came with me, and I picked this bed, so that was awesome of him. Or with the breasts, uh, I had like my second or my third operation to both of my breasts, and then after the operation I still felt it. And I have this thing where I can see in the body. Anyway, it's funny. I can see where the wound on my stomach is. I can see it in my head. Anyways, after my third operation on my breast, because I keep kept having the hematomas, and stuff like that. They made the surgery. After 2 weeks, I saw in this one, the one that I got the punches and the feet, the legs, because of the heating and stuff like that. Anyways, uh, 2 weeks passed from that operation. And then I saw something, in this one. And I was telling him, like, and it's crazy. Like, I was the girlfriend of his child, like his son. And I was talking this, but I was like, so, and I learned a lot from him. Anyways, so I went to him and I was like, I feel there's something wrong with his breast. Like, I had the implants, I had the operation, they clean everything, but I see something there, like something's not right. So then he called like another, you know, friend of his, a doctor, and he was like, uh, please take her as soon as possible and give her some x-rays because she feels like there's something wrong there. He believes me. So I went and they did, but it was like very expensive x-ray because they had to see behind. Because when I went after the surgery, after 2 weeks, I saw something there. And when I went to normal echoes, the x-ray, they didn't see anything because the silicone, the implant is behind the muscle, the flesh. So when they did the test, they would see my flesh and then the implants, the plastic, the silicone. They wouldn't see behind. So then when he called like his other doctor and stuff like that, and he said, please uh, take her and make some tests because she feels there's something wrong. And then I went and they had like more advanced equipments and they could actually see behind the silicone, like through it, the flesh, the silicone, through it. They saw behind, the silicone, the fact that I had another cyst, the hematome. So I had to get surgery again, so they would absorb, clean as much as possible all the blood, not one single drop, so it wouldn't turn, to a cyst. So again, he was there for me. What else? So when I started to work this job like at home, because after my third ex broke my jaw and my implants, and he hit toy with his leg and stuff like that. I was working back then like in the studio, so then I said no, I want to start working from home, so I wouldn't go to the studio and I wouldn't see him again and stuff like that. So then I bought myself like a laptop, and I started working from home. So his father, whenever we used to go and see his parents and stuff like that, they had like a TV, and I always wanted to look, and he was like, "Don't you have TV at home?" And I was like, I just moved. Well, not just moved. Like I had 2 years, I believe, something like that, when I used to stay in that place with rent, and I just bought like the laptop to work, from home, and I was paying rent and I had like a lot of bills and stuff like that. And he was like, "Don't you have a TV at home?" And I'm like, "No." So he bought me a TV. So, anyways, when I found out that he had like the health issue, I tried my best to do like anything possible for him, but it was terminal. That's why I only knew him for 1 year. So when I heard like what he had, I worked so much, and I was like to my ex, I was like, "You go, you stay with him, help him as much as possible, and I'll be working. You don't need to think about that. I am going to pay for everything. As as much you can stay, go and stay with him. Help him as much as possible." So then it was his birthday, and everybody was buying him fishing stuff, and never mind. So I heard that he could actually get more treatment, but if he would had like a surgery for a thing to put in his flesh and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, no, that's what I want. I want to make the money so he could get surgery to put the thingy so he would get more treatment. And that's what I did. And because of that, he lived 1 year more, since I knew him. So, anyways, I learned a lot from him. The fact that he spread so much light and he helped others even in the darkest times. And I saw so many people so harmful towards him, even at the end. And he was still spreading light, and he knew, like I could see it on his face, the fact that he would go up. And again, he wasn't scared because he knew that wasn't the end, and the fact that he would go up. So, even with the harmful people towards him, everybody was like, you give me this after you die, you give me that. And people weren't close to him, and I tried my best to be close to him. And if I couldn't be, because I wanted to work as much as possible, because I keep trying to find treatments and stuff like that for him, I would tell my ex, like, you go, you stay with him, you take care of him and you be there by his side. So anyways, when when he died, I tried my best more and more to be there for his loved ones, like he was, because I saw him full of light and full of help towards everyone, and he had the thing like I have it. He could see more, like with the problems, he would find solutions to specific problems more and more. So I try my best, like, to be close to his loved ones. So help them as much as possible. So a few years ago, it was a discussion, and they were like scared about the reaction and stuff like that with some news. So I went and I tried to change their minds, uh, to embrace, to welcome the new, the future, and stuff like that. So when they would get the news, they would be happy. Because I knew before, if they would hear the news, they wouldn't be so happy. I stayed 9 hours. I went there in the morning until night time, and I tried to convince them, this is meant to be. You have to embrace it, welcome it, be more good, be more kind. Because sometimes when you channel the upstairs, and that's what they keep telling me, I should be more vocal, even if it's not pleasant. So many people are fake to your faces just so they would be people pleaser. I've been a people pleaser my whole life. I wasn't like fake, but I've been like a people pleaser, so I wouldn't harm other people's feelings. Sometimes you need to harm them, because fake people are everywhere, so they get under your skin. So the upstairs told me when I had the spiritual awakening, they were like, you should be more vocal. Even if you hurt other people's feelings, you need to do that. They need to hear that harmful truth so they would grow from it. They need to learn. So I went there and I stayed from morning till night time. I stayed 9 hours. And I tried so much. I was like, when you hear the news, be good, be kind, embrace it. This is meant to be. Like, this is the future. You need to do good. You need to embrace. And it was like so, it was bad. It was like arguing, no, 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 no. I felt like defeated, like, because that's what I'm trying to say. I'm not good with the bad energy. I always see the light and I try to spread the light and I don't get it, like, anyways. So I remember, like, after 9 hours, it was dark outside and I felt defeated. I couldn't fight anymore. Like, everything I was doing, it was uh, for nothing. I couldn't change their mind. And I knew the next day when the news would come, it would be arguments. And it's not right, and you need to receive this news like with happiness and stuff like that. So, anyways, I remember like it was nighttime and I looked at the picture, of his past dad. I looked at that picture before I left, and that's what I'm trying to say. Cause sometimes the upstairs, the channeling, it doesn't sound so nice, but it needs to be said. I looked at the picture and I said, "You didn't take anything good from that man." And then I left. It was like silent. How could I say that? You know? But it was so true. So I left like crying. Like, how come? Like, I did my best as much as possible. So everybody would live in love and light and stuff like that. And it still wasn't enough. And I was thinking the next day it would be like with arguments and with bad shit. And, anyways, I felt defeated. Like all my efforts, they didn't appreciate it. And I was good for nothing. And never mind. But the fact that I said it like that, like you didn't learn anything good from this man. Like, I did learn so much in 1 year. 1 year. Anyways, they did change their mind. So the next day when they found the news, let's just say they found it, anyways, they had a good behavior. They embrace it and stuff like that. Like, even though I say something very harmful, they embrace it. So a few months ago, I got him channeling me, and he said that I am so proud of you and thank you for continuing my work. The fact that I was there for his loved ones, even though he wasn't anymore. The fact that I tried so hard, to bring light for his loved ones. I was like channeling him, even then. Like, it was me struggling, for his loved ones to get along and to embrace, the future, because it was meant to be. It was. Because my ex cheated on me like at least 20 times. I never felt it deep down inside me to struggle so much for him to get along with any of them until he met his wife. And I felt it deep down. It was meant to be for him to get along with her, for them to have a family, and I was right. The fact that I stayed for 9 hours and I tried so hard so I would make them embrace, welcome with happiness and light. I was channeling his father. The fact that I said it so harmful, like you didn't take anything good from him. Like, I was channeling him. So, anyways, a few months ago, I channeled him, and he was like, "I'm so proud of you. And thank you so much for continuing my work, like as much as you could, you know, and you being there next for my loved ones even when I was gone." And I was like so grateful, and so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the 5D is way much more deeper than that. The soul connections are way much more deeper. That was the first spirit, like I channeled his father. He channeled me. He talked with me a few months ago, and he did thank me for everything I've done. I did channel him a few years ago, but not I channeled him. Like again, he channeled me. He went inside my spirit. That's why I stayed 9 hours. Yeah, with my giant judgment and with my kind soul. I felt they were meant to be. But it was me and his father channeling me. So, that was one spirit. Secondly, on the 8th of August, the 8-8 portal, when I did like a lot of cleaning in the house, the fact that I didn't have food to eat that much in that day, I was very tired, very dizzy. Usually when you fast, you're very tired and dizzy, which was like a good thing, because on the 8th August, the 8-8 portal, which is infinity, the portal opens, the gateways to the dimensions. And I had like so many harmful people thinking at me, sending me so many demons, and so many shadows were following me in the house. The fact that I was so dizzy because I didn't eat, it was so calm. I did the cleaning in the house all day. I did all my chores, and stuff like that. I saw the shadows. And it's not like calm shadows when they are sent to harm you. And the fact that it was the portal and so many people have hateful feeling towards me, they send more and more. So because it was the portal, the gates were more open. They were like this in the house, following me like this, like this, like this, like this. The shadows, they looked like smoke really fast everywhere. The fact that again I was fasting because I didn't have anything to eat, I was like so calm. Usually I'm not scared of them anymore, but usually they get on my nerves, you know, following me and being so agitated in your face. They're very hateful towards me because they want to harm me, the demons. Because I spread so much light, they can't. So they're very angry, following me. I did all my chores. I went to bed at night. And when I put my head on the pillow, I felt a hug. And then a light. Because I was staying like on my left side, with my head on my pillow. And then a light was all over me. And I felt like a hug. And I heard my grandma said, "Well done. I'm so proud of you." And I felt her so happy. She filled me, like when you see a person happy. The fact that I am like an empath and I feel other people's energies as well. I felt the energy of her spirit. She was so happy and she was hugging me. And she was like, "I'm so proud of you, well done." Through everything I did in my life, and for the fact that on the portal and all the shadows were following me, so angry. I wasn't agitated, I wasn't hateful, I was so calm. I did all my chores. The fact that I was fasting because I didn't have anything to eat, I was so dizzy and more calm. I didn't pay attention, I didn't give attention to the spirits and the demons, and she was like, well done. Like I passed such a big test, you know, and that was the peak of the portal, because the portal lasted 4 days. It was open, but the fact that that was the peak of the portal, when the gates were the fullest open, they were attacking me the fullest, but she was able to enter the portal then, you know. When and that was the second spirit. They talked with me, you know. Again, I never summoned them, never. You always should let them rest in peace. Never take advantage of your powers. So, when I was a kid, my grandma knew I was special, you know, with the powers. Since I was a kid, she was. And she was the one telling me I shouldn't use my powers. And she was right. When I was like a baby, they went to the field, you know, to work with the field, you know, to dig and to plant seeds. And they had like a lot of field. So she took me there, you know, and all the people were working, you know, the land. She was like this holding me, and I was looking like up in the sky, and there weren't any clouds. And I looked up and I said, it's going to rain. So she was like, are you crazy? There are no clouds. How could you say that? And after a half an hour, it started to rain. So all the people that was working her land, they ran for covers, you know, so they wouldn't, it wouldn't rain on them. That was one thing that was like the powers I had. She saw. Again, it was another thing when I was like a baby. But she told me this, you know, and it's like I have it in my mind. I was very young, I couldn't remember, but I have it. I saw it. I saw from my eyes when I was a baby, like again we were at the field. So she had like two bulls, you know, dragging the thing, you know, that works, the metal thing that works the land, you know, for the ground. So they would put in the seeds. So she was working like in the part. She put me in on the ground, on a basket, you know, and she was working the ground. The two bulls, you know, like with the horns, the two bulls were working the ground, you know, with the metal in the back, so they would lift, you know, the land. So she would after walk behind them and put the seeds, you know. So they were doing that. She was behind them, and then she saw, because she was looking at the ground, you know, putting the seeds. And then when she lifts her head, you know, the bulls, they changed the direction, you know, on the land, and they were coming towards me. She was way behind them. So she started to scream. That's why I'm trying to say, like, I have this memory, but it's like I see it, because I remember it. Even if I was a baby, I was seeing my grandma, you know, like she was screaming, running towards me, you know, so she could race. She could go in front of the bulls so they wouldn't step on me, because I was in the basket, you know, on the ground. Because if they would step on me, they would like kill me, you know, like to the ground. So she was running, you know, from the back, screaming, trying to get the bull's attention, you know, so they would turn, so they wouldn't walk, so they would step on me. And it was a bull from the two, you know. It stopped in front of my face, went down with his head, with his horns, you know, lifted the basket, the wooden basket that my grandma made with her hand, you know. It lifted with his horns, the basket I was in, stepped it to the side, let it down, and then they moved straight forward. And that was again another thing, because my grandma saw, and she was like, this isn't real, like, how could an animal do that? Like, even if it would be like a smart animal trained, to lift with his horns, and then to put it aside, and then to put it down, and then he went with his way, on his way. So again, that was like another thing my grandma noticed about me. What else? It was another thing my grandma noticed. All the children were playing, and my brother was catching fireflies in a jar. Jar? A pickles, the jar with the something. The fireflies, I don't know if I said it right. The one that lights, the small little flies. Yeah, I think they're called fireflies. They light. I don't see them in Bucharest ever. I only saw them there. Anyways, the children were flying, with the jaws, so they would catch them. So they would light it, in the glass. And I was crying, telling my grandma to make them stop, because they would suffocate the little fireflies, in the jar. So then my grandma looked at me, she smiled. Again, she was like, this is amazing, I was so small. How could I think that, How could I feel? I was feeling the fireflies because they were suffocated. So then she got the jar, and she made like a lot of holes, in the up, so air could come in, so they would breathe. What else? Um, there were so many, so many. The last thing, she was like, she knew this thing, with the paranormal activities, and with the curses, and with the dark forces, and with the light as well. I never liked them at all. She knew them. There were a lot of dark forces towards her as well. They sent her like a lot of attacks as well. Anyways, I remember it was a worm, like the centipede. I don't know, the little worm with a lot of legs. It was like so poison. Like, anyways, back then they had like a big bucket of water, because they take the water from the dam, something. And when you wanted to drink, you go with a cup and you do it like this, Okay, so it was like the centipede thingy in the water. So when I wanted to drink, and now the ringing is bigger and bigger. Because that's what I said, people. Stop using your fucking forces. Don't take advantage of the light ones. Stop using your dark ones at all. Because all the black magic you're doing, harm and greed and wishful, hateful, it will all come back to you because they see. Never mind. So, when I wanted to go and drink, I took a cup and I put it in the big bucket of water, and then I wanted to drink. She saw. Just like that. And she saw, stop. So then when I looked, it was something like this. Big, I don't know how you call it. Never mind. It's like the centipede. Like the worm with so many legs, which is poison. Like if it goes in the water and after you drink it, you die. Like the frog, you know what I mean? with the poison. Anyway, so she said stop. She knew. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, she was very powerful as well, and she knew other people, entities, stuff like that, a lot of hate towards her and to her loved ones as well. She knew it was an attack, so she said, stop, don't drink it. We went outside, on the street, in front of the house, outside of the house. She took it, she put it on the ground. I was there, and I think I was like 7 or 8. Uh, she said some words, like I release it, but it's not like go back. Because again, as I said, don't send it back to the sender. Never. Like a good witch, the light witch would never do that. Anyways, she said something like I release it. So she took like a metal thingy, you dig the ground. I don't know how you call it. She cut it. I saw the parts of it like far out. It was alive still. Then she brought fire. She set it on fire. It was burning, and again, still alive, still moving. Moving like crazy. Like one part here, one part here, one part here, one part here. This is what I'm trying to say, the black magic, bitches. Stop using it, bitches. So, you are cursing yourself, your loved ones, and your next generations. Never mind. After that, she went inside. It is what it is. I don't lie. I'm telling you the facts. So, she went inside. She went to the toilet. She took like a cup, the cup that I wanted to drink out of, so it would kill me. Because other people as well, they wanted her harm, but mine as well. Because as I said, the evil, they feel my energy, and they felt it all my life. So she went inside to the toilet with the cup I wanted to drink out of, that I got the thingy. She peed in it, in the cup. She came back on the street, I was like there, not on my knees, like down low, and I was looking at it because it was still moving and stuff like that. With the cup, and then she looked at it, disgusted, and she said, I release you. And then she poured the pee on the centipede, and then it died. Just like that. It stopped moving. It died. She grabbed it into, like with the something. Then she buried it. She dig a hole in the ground and she buried it. And she said out loud, because there were a lot of people there that wished harm upon her and her loved ones and me, and never mind. She said it again, like, I see you. I see what you're doing. Stop with this shit. Because it will turn to you. She never did bad towards anyone. But again, she knew the attacks. Anyways, so the last thing that she was like, because she did see me, with these things, and the fact that I was attacked over and over and over and stuff like that. So the last thing she said, she did give me, like, she was drinking coffee from a cup, and she was like, okay, let's see if you have the powers to read into the future. So then she did drink the coffee, she turned it, like this, and then when it dried, she showed me the cup. And she was like, okay, tell me what you see. And I remember it even now. I saw a man with his with his head down, with with a backpack in his back, very sad. And then some mountains. He was walking them, and then a grave, with some crosses. And I told her that. And after 2 weeks, my grandfather died. Her husband, my father's dad. So after that, she said, okay, don't read into the future again. We don't know if that was exactly what it should have happened, or the fact that you only see the dark, like you can predict only the dark. So don't do that ever. Don't read into the future. Don't use the forces. Don't. She was right. She was right. When she died, I didn't see her. I wasn't able to go. You know, they left me alone at home. Anyways, I wanted to see her, but they knew I cared so much for her. The fact that I was so young, they wanted to like protect me, so I wouldn't see her dead. But I wanted to see her. I wanted to say my goodbyes, and tell her rest in peace. And I wasn't able, because they didn't took me. I remained in Bucharest, and they went to bury her. So many times after, I dreamt her so bad. I had nightmares, and I dreamt her so bad. It was like I felt so. It wasn't like my fault, I was very young. I wanted to go to see her, But anyways, I felt like I don't have the word in English. Anyways, I don't have the word in English. I don't have it. Anyways, I don't have it. I'm trying so hard. Guilty. I said it over and over in my head in Romanian until I got it translated in English. Guilty. I felt so guilty I didn't pay my respects to her. I didn't say bye. I didn't say rest in peace. Anyways, I dreamt her so many times. So bad. Because I felt guilty. I felt guilty. I wasn't there, with her at the end. And I was feeling like she would feel hate towards me, you know. But she didn't. Because so many years after, she had a thing with the fish. She used to like eating fried fish a lot. And I used to dream her, she was in the kitchen cooking fried fish uh, with I don't know, the yellow something over on it, like, I don't know how you say it. Never mind. So I was dreaming her so many times, with the fish. And whenever I was dreaming her, like I would make it and I would give it to someone, and I would be like, for my spirit. Or with the waffles. The fact that I like so much the waffles, and there are the cheap ones, you know, but like the old type, you know, she liked them so much. Anyways, so on the 8-8 portal, when all the bad shadows, the spirits. They were attacking me and so angry, in the house after me. At the end of the day, she came and she gave me a hug. And she said, like, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, like you did well, you know. Through my whole life and through that day, like I managed it so well, you know. The fact that I felt her so happy and I saw the light. It was light. I don't know how to explain. It's not like the room got light. In all the room it was dark, but it was like only half of me with light, but exactly the form of her. Like the form of the spirit. It was only like half light. Then I started to cry and then I went to sleep. I was so grateful. The fact that my whole life I knew about the spirits and the demons, and they did try to hurt me many times. But it's like I I grow stronger and stronger. I didn't I didn't and I'm not using my forces, the light or the dark, I'm not. And it's good to not, don't take advantage of your light forces and don't use your dark ones ever. She came to me and she talked with me, and I haven't talked with her like, I don't even remember. I was like 10, or I don't even remember like when she passed. Like I was small. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, don't disturb them. If they want to talk with you, they talk with you. You know what I mean. Let them rest in peace. Be more good. Be more kind. Help others. Don't drown in your darkness. Even if you're in darkness, try and help others as much as possible. We are all one. The humanity, the people, the animals, the plants, the spirits. You have no idea how deep it goes. You have no idea. So try to be more good, more kind, help others. Stop feeling hate. Stop feeling envy. Stop feeling all the negative, all the low vibrations, the negativity, you know what I mean. So that was like, I don't know, like all the things I had to say today. Hopefully the burping, that was all awesome. Whenever you have like the burping again, that is the spirit, that is the higher self. You can see me sometimes, my 3D. It's like I'm so crazy and so, I don't know, childish, stone, and other things. You can read me, like if you pay attention. When my higher self steps in, when it's my 5D, my higher self, not the ego self, which I broke. That is the 3D, the human version of me. When my higher self steps in, you can see the difference. The higher self is more emotional. It's more, never mind. So when I said, did I say it all? I got the burping. That is the higher self saying, yeah, you know. Anyways, be more good, spread more light, help others, pay something to your ancestors, your respects. be more good, be more kind, help others. Yeah, love and light, people. Do good, reap good karma, from the angels upstairs. Be more good. If you didn't subscribe to my YouTube channel, you can do it, camifit. And you can follow me on Instagram, camixa. I do hope you have a wonderful day, people. Take care of yourself, body, mind, and soul. Take care of your soul. Keep your soul pure as much as possible on the highest frequency, which is unconditional love. Be more good, be more kind, help others, spread light. Take care, people. Peace out.